Here with Sharks left wing and popular topic on this show, Anthony Duclair, because we watch a lot of your games, Anthony. We are crazy about the game that you guys played against the Oilers early in the season, where you guys were coming off your first win. Oilers, people had so many questions. Like, all eyes were on that game. It's silly to ask you about a game that you played like weeks ago at this point, but what was that game like with the whole NHL world watching two struggling teams?
Yeah, I don't think there was too many games on that night either. So it was obviously a big conversation between the boys before the game. We know that, I mean, we knew our situation, and then we knew, Edmonton's situation, and just coming off our first win there at home, it was important to get to a good start and hopefully, get the lead early and, put those guys on their toes. And, obviously I think we had a pretty good, performance. All four lines were rolling, and you can tell just everybody was motivated to win that game. And it ended up being pretty tight there at the end, but pulled off the win. Obviously, it was huge for us.
Pete named that the Oil Shark Bowl.
Yeah, oh yeah, we had a good time with that one for sure.
Generated a lot of AI imagery. It was wonderful. What a week that was in the hockey world. We have Sharky here, and we were just taught you noticed when you came on that we have Sharky. Sharky's got to be one of the better mascots in hockey. We were wondering, do players know who the mascots are? Like, do you know the mascots of the teams that you've played on?
Never. They do a good job of keeping their identity under wraps, so we have no idea.
No, but do you know like the actual, like the mascot, like Sharky, not the person inside of Sharky?
Well, now I want to go down this road because you probably walked by and like given Sharky or Stanley C. Panther, I think is his name, like you've probably given them fist bumps before, and then you walk by them in the parking lot or something, and they're like, he has no idea. I gave that guy the fist bump that led to that hat trick. I never even thought of that.
No idea. Would love to find out now that you brought it up now.
Well, we've got a great surprise for you. Sharky, come on. I'm just kidding. No, Pete, ask.
What?
About like, do you actually know?
We were gonna question you to some trivia with if you can name all the mascots for the teams that you've played for. So you've got Sharky. That's an easy one.
Sharky, you did well, but it was also just right there.
DJ already spoiled the Panthers one, if you know the Panthers mascot.
Yeah, so Stanley. I think Columbus, is it Stinger?
Yeah, sure is.
Senators. What do we got? Ottawa Senators. What do we got there? Oof. No idea.
Wow.
Spartacat.
I mean, we can't see your hands, so you could have been Googling this. I would have just cheated if I were you.
No,
Spartacat, which...
Random.
Not my favorite.
No.
It gives some Spartan imagery, but not my favorite. How about, did we do...
Blackhawks?
Blackhawks is a classic.
What's that? I should know this one, eh?
Yeah. This is a famous one. He beats people up in the concourses.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty out there. I'm really bad with these things, guys.
Tommy Hawk.
All right, we'll do. How about this? Rangers.
Do they even have one?
Oh,
Rangers do not have a mascot.
Yeah. I was like, I would have remembered.
Wild stuff.
I would say the unofficial mascot of hockey Twitter and of like every Twitter is Tim Robinson, and I think you should leave.
Good segue.
And you are famously, and I think you should leave head, because on Twitter you confirmed that yourself. So like, what is your experience and love of I think you should leave? What's that like level like?
I've watched it, I think, just once. It was great. I've recommended it to so many people. My favorite scene was probably the nachos, the date on the nachos. that had me fired up. A great show, great actor, and I hope that he comes out with a new season soon, because we need some more content out of him.
I mean, the thing was, she was taking all the fully loaded nachos, and you can't take them with all the stuff on it. She was leaving, what is it, one nugget for the guy? You can't do it. But it was a rule at the restaurant. It wasn't.
Yeah, it was the rule that he just made up, and then she's not
So,
going to the movies no more.
so do you find that from someone recommending it to you? Is it like a next up on Netflix thing? Like I'm trying to paint a scene of like classic hockey, the boys, like watching I Think You Should Leave, and that cracks me up.
You know what? Now you brought it up, I'm gonna recommend to the boys here on the Sharks. I haven't yet, but I'm gonna ask around. But for myself, I'm actually a big TV show, movie kind of guy, so I'll be on Netflix, just just looking around for new shows and stuff like that, and whatever the mood is, comedy or action, whatever I'm feeling that day, I'm looking it up for sure.
What have you been getting into these days?
I just finished Top Boy. I don't know if you heard Top Boy. Yeah, it's
No.
really good. Actually, I think Drake's a producer on it.
Okay.
You guys should look it up. What else? Peaky Blinders
Okay.
finished like maybe last season. That was great. Top of my head, not sure, but there's just so many guys. I'm on there like every flight, to be honest.
Are you a Drake guy?
Of course, yeah.
So I'm not the biggest Drake fan, but for some reason, the song "Rich Baby Daddy" has its hooks in me so freaking. Do you know that song?
Yeah, with Sexy Red.
Yeah, so Sexy Red on the chorus. That hook, for some reason, has
great.
affected me like few choruses ever have. Like every social post I'm doing now, I have it in the "Shake That Ass for Drake, Shake That Ass for Me." It's the most captivating.
relate to it,
Sean, our
eh?
producer, is looking at me. I've played it a million freaking times in our studio. Something comes over me when I hear that song.
You can relate to it.
It's because you know why? It's because I think that we should get a Frenchie and take care of the dog till the dog days are over. He had to pay Florence Welch as a songwriter on that song, and I'm like, why don't you just not include a part at the end where you sing "the dog days are over"? What a weirdo Drake is.
Gotta do what you gotta do, I guess.
This is such a good hockey interview, man. Like I'm having a freaking blast here. What's your relationship with Joe Thornton like? Because he was there. You got end of career Joe Thornton, and then when you came to San Jose, I know he was like, "I'm gonna hook you up."
Yeah, he was great. Obviously, that year when he was there in Florida, just win the President's Cup, and just that year how it all unfolded. We were just winning almost every game. It was just so fun to have him around the locker room. He was awesome. He did so much for us, and I know he wasn't playing every game, but just his attitude, his mood in the locker room was huge, and he definitely kept that room, very light, and all the boys are always dying laughing when he's around. So, and then obviously when I got traded over the summer, actually the first phone call was Mike Greer, second phone call was Bill Zito, and then third phone call was Jumbo Joe, and you're just telling me all about San Jose and how I'm gonna love it here, and it's great that he's there full time. So he's still here, in the rink sometimes, working out and stuff like that. So he's still busting around. So it's nice to have him around for sure.
You grew up a Canadiens fan, and obviously he started his career with the Bruins. Do you remember having any feelings towards him as a kid?
Yeah. I remember I've only been to like a handful of Montreal Canadiens game growing up because they were so expensive, and I remember one of the games was him in a Bruins jersey, and I remember just ISO camming him the whole game, and one of the players I grew up watching, obviously, and one of those legends. So it's just like one of those things that you just never you never really expect to happen. Playing with a guy like that, but when it happened, couldn't be more grateful for the opportunity, and now I'm just lucky to call him as a friend for sure.
Speaking of the Bruins, I'm a diehard Bruins fan, so last playoffs will haunt me till the day that I die. But obviously, you being on the other side of it, what was that experience like going up against a team that had just set the record in the regular season? Obviously, they got off to a strong start, and then what was that experience like in the locker room on the other side?
It was great. I mean, sorry to hear about that.
I bet it was great.
It must be nice.
No, it was great. It was awesome. Unbelievable experience. One of those series that you remember for the rest of your career. And obviously been down 3-1, and then we all know that Marchand breakaway with Bob, and huge save, and there's just so many things that happened that just went our way, and took advantage of it. And obviously they were an unbelievable team, best team in the NHL history. So we definitely had a tough task ahead of us, but. I just want to say, like, in that locker room, we just believed, since game one. We just never stopped believing. That was the thing, just kept us going. Just our leadership group just stepped up in a big way. And, everybody just knew what we had to do. And, we just stuck with each other. And, that was a crazy comeback, and obviously a crazy game 7 there.
Yeah, you guys played deep into the summer, obviously, and then you were traded over the summer. Like, what was the experience like for you this summer? Because that seems like a very hectic summer to have.
Yeah, it was. A lot of emotions going through. For me, it started back, the July before, tearing my Achilles, and just going through the whole rehab process all year. It was drooling, and then very grueling, period, and a lot of ups and downs and stuff like that. But it's just part of the business. I've been through it before, and when I got traded, it was a bit of a shock, but at the same time, just grateful for the opportunity that my career has presented to me, and obviously. You go through an experience like that with Florida, going all the way to the finals is kind of a dream come true. As a kid, you always dream of that, having that opportunity, and it was obviously a great time, and time I'll never forget with Florida for sure.
You also got traded, obviously, the first trade of your career. You were the centerpiece of a trade for a star player, and I always wonder what that's like for the young guy. You were traded for Keith Yandel. How much pressure is that?
Yeah, luckily that happened when I was in junior, so I didn't have to, take my stuff and pack my stuff and move mid-season. It was kind of, a move I had to make over the summer. But yeah, like, obviously as a prospect, you just get drafted to an organization. You're not expecting, but you're hoping to be there for a little bit, and wasn't expecting that at all, obviously. But I was told, I guess, from our performance from the World Junior Tournament and that chemistry that I show with Max Domi, that Arizona really wanted me, and wanted me to play with Max. So it was another, obviously, surprise, but again, learned early on in my career that it's a business, and things like that will happen. And I think it was great, going to a younger team there in AZ, and starting off my career over there. It was a great time. Learned from an all-time great, Shane Doan, who I consider a friend still to this day. This guy is just unbelievable. My first few years, and what a captain to start my career with, for sure.
Doan seems like a pretty level-headed, awesome, like, great leader. Who's the most ridiculous teammate you've ever had?
Most ridiculous teammate.
Is this gonna be Joe Thornton, or?
There's so many. I don't want to call anybody out right now. Oh man. What do you mean by ridiculous?
Just like, it could be anything. I mean, like, right now you got Ferraro, who does all the YouTube stuff and everything, but that's good. Go make your content. Hell yeah, we're all in this together, sort of thing. Whether Tkachuk last year, just like, this guy is an absolute animal. Like, who is that teammate that you've looked at and been like, how are we even the same species?
Let's go John Scott.
Oh,
This
boy.
this guy was actually hilarious. Kind of like jumbo vibes. Just every day, it's gonna be just a full on laughing session with this guy. He kept the room light. He's, yeah, he was a funny guy, and funny guy to be around with, for sure.
He was always the center of attention a lot too. Like a fan base was always either mad at him or people were voting him into an All-Star game that people didn't think he should be in.
That was actually the year he was there in Arizona when he got voted into the All-Star game. So that was a crazy few months. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, what was that
tell us
like?
about those months
Yeah.
because we have the All-Star game coming up now and they're changing the rules and everything. But like, what was it like being on that team and having that kind of attention for that reason?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he was a guy in and out of the lineup, and you know, he was loved by all his teammates. And but I mean, I guess when they put that, you know, fan voting in, and then the fans started voting for him, and then it just kind of blew up on social media, and everybody started voting for him. You know, in the locker room, we were loving it. We were saying, heck yeah, like you deserve to be in there if the fans want you in. And I guess he got called from Gary in the league, and they didn't want that at all. And they were trying to you know, take him away and tell him not to go and stuff like that. But we were telling him like, you got to go, and he was like, oh hell yeah, I'm going. And he ended up going. He got his all-star gloves that one day, and it started to be real. And you know, it was awesome. We were really happy for him, and then ended up scoring that hat trick, and it was great experience for him for sure.
He was traded before. Was he traded before the game? Is that in an effort?
Yeah, we
to
traded him to Montreal, and I guess he started playing in St. John, and that's why he didn't even have a logo when he got to the All-Star game. I guess I guess the league did everything and you know, possible for him not to go, but you know, he had his he had his mind made up, and you know, it was good for him to go through with it.
I don't want to get you in trouble here. I know what you've said about the Pride tape, and I should note, so I shouldn't be vague about that. The pro Pride tape, you've been against the specialty equipment ban, and you think that players should express everything that they feel the need to express. Do you ever wish as a player, and I'm sure a lot of players feel this, like, do you ever wish that the league would take itself a little less seriously with things like that, or the John Scott thing of like, this is an okay thing, this is a fun moment, this is something that's making people feel good, we don't necessarily need to squash it?
Yeah, I mean, I still don't get, you know, the league decision, honestly. You know, we saw, was it last week, Marc-Andre Fleury, you know, making a mask for his wife, and you know, the league, you know, stepping in and saying no. And I'm glad that he didn't listen to the league and just went through with it. I think more guys need to start doing that. I mean, it's kind of one of those things. You're trying to grow the game, you know, every single day, every single year. You're trying to, you know, attract new audience. Obviously, you know, you look at the NFL, you look at the NBA, you look at the numbers they're pulling up. I don't see why, you know, hockey shouldn't be, you know, right there. You know, I you know, obviously a biased, you know, opinion, but hockey is a great sport, and should be, you know, showcased, you know, a bit more everywhere. And you know, it starts with things like that. So you know, I think for us as players, we need to step up and, you know, just talk how we feel, and you know, express you know, to everybody and to the world, you know, that hockey is for everyone. We're not just saying it, but we're actually, you know, taking actions.
You're one of our good friends does the style rankings for Bleach Report, Sarah Siv, and you're constantly near the top of those style rankings. So I'm curious, how invested are you in the fashion game, and do you ever get requests from teammates being like, "Can you help me? Because I don't know what I'm doing."
You know what? I seen the list, and I'm not taking that list seriously unless I'm in the top 2 or top 3. I seen. I thought it was like number 8, and I'm not. Don't like it. I don't like it. So talk to your friend. I need to get moved up ASAP. But yes, I've had some comments from teammates, and you know, I hooked him up with my guy back home. He's a family friend who he actually grew up with my dad. So you know, I've been getting my suits from him since, I guess, midget. You know, started making suits, and you know, he's great. He's great style. Honestly, sometimes I throw some ideas in, but for the most part, he's the man. You know, with all the styling and everything. So I kind of let him take the charge, and you know, just tell him to go crazy sometimes, and you know, I'll wear whatever.
How often do you get like a care package of suits Because I imagine, like, I was signed up for Stitch Fix for a while, and it's like, it's super exciting to get that box in the mail and not know what's inside it. So I can't imagine getting a delivery and being like, I've got custom suits waiting for me. Let's see what's in here.
No. So I haven't had new suits in maybe 2 years, but
Okay.
if I would do any new suits, it'll be over the summer, just
Okay.
because you never know what the fitting and all that stuff. So he's got my measurements and stuff back home, and then we'll pick out the colors and whatnot, and then we'll do it over summer when I'm back in Montreal. But yeah, I think I'm gonna get. I didn't really have time last summer because the longer extended summer, but obviously this summer I might get a few more for sure.
I never thought about this, but like players will try to show up to camp huge, right? Because they know they're going to lose weight over the course of the season, right? Like I don't say huge meaning like Bufflin. Like I mean like you want to show up as strong as
Way to throw a guy under the bus.
Oh, we made jokes about Phil last interview. We can't just keep making Phil Kessel jokes. Anyway, players I know will show up and they'll say like you lose weight early in the season, right? Because you're skating so much and everything. Like when you get fitted for suits in the summer, do you have to factor in like this might not fit me as well in December or January? And plus, if we're being a-holes about it, like as a hockey player, you got the big butt thing going on as well. So these tailors are going to have their hands full.
I mean, luckily I don't have that much of that problem. I know some guys maybe do, but for the most part, I keep my body kind of the same throughout the whole year, to be honest. And after the season, I take a couple weeks off. I maybe get a little belly, but I try to cut that out right after, and when I start skating in the summer. But for the most part, my measurements have been kind of the same throughout the year. So, when I get to camp, I don't think you want to get there too big because, the skates are pretty hard. So you might have a little tough time moving out there. But you try to obviously get to camp as most shape as possible.
Yeah, I'll end it with this. Given that you've spent a summer like rehabbing a major injury with your Achilles a couple years back, are the days of like kind of letting yourself go or taking a little break in the summer over? Like does that rehab process get you into the habit of like whenever I can work to be better and healthy, I will?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's changed my whole mindset and how I take care of my body. And it's kind of crazy, like just how dialed in you have to be. Just the little things when you get older and you're starting to get older in this league. You just want to be as better as you can be, and you don't know how long you'll get in this league and how long you'll play for. So might as well just get better as much as you can. And even in the off season, you're still striving to be better. You're still looking to get better from the previous season. And I think for myself, especially with this injury, it's not an injury that I rehabbed and now it's done with. It's still something that I'm still dealing with to this day. And I've been told I'm going to keep dealing with it, for my whole career. So, it's something I need to stay on top of. And that's not just the Achilles, it's actually the whole body. Got to make sure that, I'm just dialed in, with the rest, nutrition, all that, stretching. And, so it's actually improved my preparation. And, I'm actually grateful that I did tear it because it actually helped me see a new light and how I need to prepare my body each and every day.
I sincerely swear to both you and Pete, when I said huge, I did mean like bulk up, put like lift.
I know what you meant. I know what you meant the whole time, and then you threw his name out there, and I was like, "Oh no!"
I was just saying, like, I'm an asshole. Anthony, you are the best. We appreciate you so much. I'm so glad we were able to go over the X's and O's of hockey as in depth as we did in this conversation. We love watching your games, man. Continued success.
Appreciate it. Hopefully, Sexy Red sees this interview as well.
Oh my God!
There you go.
Like, can I get a follow? Sexy Red, follow back. Thanks, man.
Thank you
Appreciate
so
it.
much.
Thank you.